Hi friends, did you ever wonder why God would confuse language in the Tower of Babel story? It's so interesting. Let's talk about the biblical significance of the story and its relevance for our time. Thank you for watching my videos and subscribing my channel and sharing with your friends. I invite you to subscribe my videos, share it, interact online, share your comments. It's a blessing to share the video with you. So let's go ahead. Why would God confuse language at Babel? In the Tower of Babel story, God does something very dramatic. He confuses language and scatters people over the face of the earth. Imagine the city of Babel. Everybody spoke one language. People were settling down. They wanted to build a tower to reach heaven. It's so dramatic. It's a very grand plan. The people of Babel got it wrong. God comes down and confuses their language and scatters them all over the world. Babel is associated with going away from God, disobeying God's commands, and attempting to be like God. That's the biggest problem about Babel's story. In the book of Genesis, when a man moves eastward, humanity is going away from the area of God's blessing and begins to dwell in a place that causes problems. Old scholars said that the Tower of Babel was built to protect people from flood. They believed that a high tower would stop God from destroying humanity by flood again. They failed to trust in God's promise. He said, I would never flood the earth again. Isn't it foolish to build a tower on a plain ground? The metaphor of building a tower is an attempt to reach God. It was a belief that they could be in the presence of God and influence the divine counselors. They also thought once they are in the presence of God, they would be equal to God in the eyes of mankind. But these are all views. There is no evidence to support it. Surely the Tower of Babel was not meant to worship God. Babel is notorious for evil activity. Why was God so angry with the people of Babel? They were disobedient. They settled down when they were told to scatter. They were filled with pride. They said, let us make a name for ourselves. They were idolatrous. They worshipped self, not God. The Babel story powerfully portrays the Old Testament view. Those who are obedient to God are blessed, and those who thwart God's promises are cursed. People of Babel are cursed with confusion of language. God knew the city of Babel was going towards disaster and things would get worse. God's action separates people in different language groups to curtail the damage. Babel represent ungodly unity. Unholy alliances only gets us into trouble. In simple words, the story of Babel is a rebellion against God. The moral of the story is what happens when we prevent the acts of God. When we live in sin, we create our own Tower of Babel to avoid God's judgment. We do not need God is a modern day delusion. But every crisis reminds us there is no guarantee to rely on our own skill, on technology, or on self-sufficiency. God's action at Babel has a very loving purpose to reduce the impact of evil on humanity. By confusing languages, God saved humanity. Soon after the Babel story, we see God calling Abraham and giving humanity a new hope. And much later in the New Testament, God reversed the Babel story by a linguistic miracle of the Pentecost. When the apostles spoke, people of every nation on the face of the earth could understand it in their own language. That's the miracle of the Pentecost. It's very interesting that God confuses language to distort evil. And God grants the gift of tongues to the apostle to broadcast the gospel of Jesus Christ. And once again, thank you for watching these videos. I invite you to subscribe my channel and watch the other videos that are there. Share these videos with your friends, and definitely I invite you to interact with me online by giving your likes and comments. Um, God bless you, and definitely look forward to interact with you with more videos to come.